Alright then, so third game gonna be coming on Medit. That's gonna be the map of choice for Joe, I think. You can see he's choosing another water map. This time though it's gonna be a whole lot different because we are on vanilla, or rather vanilla rules on the AOT hybrid mod created by ChronoJJ to simulate basically vanilla on Titans if you're having problems with launching that. And Joe is gonna be playing of course with his ISIS, no reason to switch. And Morris this time gonna be switching into Poseidon, which is a very good choice. Because on vanilla, Poseidon is a top god, and especially on water, there is actually a lot of reason to say that he might be the very best on water maps actually. So let's see how this battle is gonna be coming. As I see, it's not really any kind of pushover either, let's not say that, but Poseidon does have a lot of things going for him, and for example, the Pestilence is always quite useful, so let's see if Ares is gonna be the god of choice for the classical age, and if Mor is gonna be falling for this trap. Because Titans players usually do. They usually underappreciate what kind of power this has on a water that is played on a vanilla, because of course you don't have the shooting dogs. Or rather, if Joe is gonna be falling for the trap. Yeah, I was slightly confused right now, and I was thinking why he's building here. And it's exactly the reaction to the Pestilence. Yeah, this is, otherwise it would be a really pretty bad placement. But he's already thinking about the Pestilence. So placing the dog here, and the second one is gonna be screened away somewhere to the top side in there. Yeah, I was really looking why, but that was because I was confused and turned around. But yeah, well, of course, Joe is the one who needs to defend against the Pestilence, so let's see if he's gonna be fine. Mor will be the one potentially executing it, so having Aurochs, of course, gonna be helping with the early economy. And where is the gold? Quite safe for the Egyptian, that's gonna be a bit of help, as of course the chickens are maybe gonna be helping as well. So you're gonna be switching into Mor to have a look into his point of view. Okay, so for him there is not much of an excuse why to build it up here. Other than that he wanted actually the double for himself, otherwise you would be expecting that building in the middle would be slightly better. And thanks Scotty for the host, hope that everybody's gonna be enjoying his last game today. It's going to be cast our last match today. So we are gonna be looking at the piggies all around. You can see already one being lured right next to the lure, obviously. And a few more deer are gonna be coming forward, so of course his early economy should be reasonably fine, and he doesn't have to spend all that many resources on the storehouse. I was just looking if he's actually built another storehouse, but no. He's just building a house, as he of course needs to do. As otherwise on the map we are looking at finally scouting Joe, gonna be looking into his opponent's side, and that's gonna be maybe a good place for an obelisk. To actually see how many villages his opponent is having there, and if maybe he can do something a bit more about it. But anyway, let's turn off the fog of war. We have seen everything that we needed to. Plenty of scouting for more, and let's send the piggies home, because piggies are a strength of all the Greeks in all the maps, and especially on water maps, if you are coming for the efficient build without, of course, without the granary anywhere. Alright, so right now, of course, Mor is gonna be having the problem with being inefficient, as he does have the dog in the corner. He will have to go somewhere all across the map, so second dog is gonna be coming about here a bit later. But otherwise his opponent, he has a reason for this, because he will be attempting to avoid the Pestilence. So the second dog coming in about here, well, not gonna be happy about it. So he slightly won a lottery. He actually won a significant lottery here, looking at the fishies. Yeah, he was kinda lucky that he started actually with the corner at the bottom. It's not gonna be all that bad for him. Can see all the three suns around him. Whereas the second dog somewhere on the other side of the map, he's gonna be having just some measly threesome and a double. Yep, he will have to build it there if he doesn't want to be completely stopped a bit later by the Pestilence. Okay, so here we are at about 2 minutes 59, so you should be already thinking maybe about advances and about rather the temples, exactly. We are, as if Joe was actually listening to us in about 10 hours ago, or when did they actually play it today. Of course, there are plenty of villages on wood. Lure is already done with 6 villages and plenty of piggies already being there. And this Auroch, well, that's gonna be quite close by. If he attacks that, that's gonna be stopping about here at the back of those piggies, so that's fairly close to the TC. He actually wants to gather from that. In the meantime, it's gonna be temple for him. And, well, let's see what he's gonna be doing. The second dog is gonna be coming quite far away in from the back side. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter. What? He's being greedy. He's being greedy right now. But anyway, it doesn't really matter because the dogs don't shoot on vanilla. So quite obviously, it doesn't matter if you place it here or here. You don't need to build any kind of naval fortresses at the shoreline. But that was still kind of a bit greedy from Moore. And you could have seen a bit of a greedy play from him in the last game as well. And it definitely didn't pay off. So I would be really kind of careful if I was him. If I were him. Now, so at this point, of course, Joe is coming forward. And oh well, they're really going for the dog here. But he does have a second dog at the top side, which is of course quite inevitably needed. But oh... So I was thinking that maybe Joe was trying to avoid the pestilence, but I probably have to rethink that. This is all in range of one pestilence, absolutely certainly. All three dogs are gonna be completely neutralized. Oh, if he actually went Ares though. He's coming through Hermes, that's a shame. I was looking forward to the fun. Because I can just basically always imagine what the players are thinking when all the three dogs are screwed up. Like how they are actually cursing at the screen, punching the keyboard and something like that, throwing the mouse across the room because it's almost insta-lost in that position. But yeah, well, right now he's gonna be getting away with it. Moore is unfortunately not really on the vanilla meta, so he's gonna be coming through Hermes, and that means that Joe is gonna be having quite a comfortable and nice game. Otherwise he will be down to only one dog and maybe a second one a bit later, but still he will be really kinda screwed up. As right now this dog is gonna be quite dangerous, of course, from Moore, but considering that it's not gonna be shooting, I don't really think that it matters a whole lot. But he's gonna be having a bit of a protection for all of those boats, so maybe he's doing it for that reason, that he actually wants to protect the economy and maybe kinda annoy the enemy economy as soon as possible, because with only one boat, he can just basically build one boat here, and he's gonna be probably forcing all of those fishes to be basically free of the nets of their captors. So, there we go. Of course, everybody advancing into the other gods. In the classical age, you can see that Joe just didn't go into Anubis either. Anubis is an obvious god that you should be also using, especially on vanilla, where the boats are basically, well, not really basically, they are literally the same without any kind of bonuses as they are having in Titans. So, basically combination of Pestilence and Anubis with the Serpents should be absolutely a given. So it's basically just confirming that both players are Titans and not really knowing all that much about the vanilla gameplay, but they should be really improving that, because one of them is gonna be advancing into the finals. And well, in the finals, there is gonna be waiting for them one good vanilla player. And if they are not prepared for vanilla, it might not really go all that well for them. Here we go, more producing enough of Triremets already. How's he gonna be looking for Joe? He should be kinda faster heroic and maybe. He kinda screwed up the gold apparently. Yeah, it seems like a bit too late. Or rather, Pestilence, Prosperity, starting at P, but it's not the same. It's definitely not the same, it's the exact opposite. Now, of course, this is gonna be a bit of an annoyance for Joe. He has to deposit all the, of course, all the boats into the docks. They're not gonna be able to gather anything now, but in the long run, he might be having a bit easier game. As with Nephthys, I'm right now fully expecting that he could be actually using Nephthys and the Ancestors on the water, because on vanilla, they are actually really strong. On vanilla, they are really strong and really got good power on the water and can help you win it without any kind of problem whatsoever. You can see that Moore already going for Push Saint so that he's having solid economy. And he is also kinda gonna be heading into the heroic age, because why not? He sees that he doesn't face anything, that his opponent is apparently faster heroic in because he's not fighting for the water at all. So, well, what can he do next? As he right now finishes with the armory, he should be advancing through Dionysus and trying to basically get the economy going for the Skillas. But that's gonna be resulting, or needing plenty more gold. Having Hendax and Pickaxe. So plenty more should be also going for the favor, so that he does have at least favor for like at least 2. Yep, there we go. Ancestors are coming forward, but a bit differently. They are coming into the economy. That's unfortunate to the max. Unfortunate to the max, because Hippolyta just now came out. Just now, before he actually clicked in. Well, Morn is not stupid, so of course he expected this might be coming. So, yeah, well, it's still apparently gonna be working, but... What? What? You are supposed to be the heroes! And you are cowering in a tower. What the hell is going on here? Okay, now... Apparently this is gonna be happening right now for more. Not really certain what was actually the reason for that, but okay. He was probably afraid that he's gonna be losing them, but they are kinda exactly here for the reason. Right now he's probably noticing what he has done. So he's gonna be finally sending them into battle. Wow, that was really kinda weird. And siege boats are of course gonna be coming out, war barges in huge numbers from Joe. As he is in the heroic age, he's gonna be absolutely punishing the opponent. And he can be producing even the hammer ships, because kinda why not? As Mor is not ready for this, he's not prepared for anything of this, and it means that you can basically just overwhelm him by numbers. And hammer ships are built really fast indeed, and if you can produce them like 10 in a span of like a minute, then the opponent is not gonna be able to do anything about that. As right now the ceasefire is definitely inevitable, as he needs to help himself a bit to stabilize the situation, as he needs to wait for the heroic age, which he is right now in, and produce some hammer ships, and after that a few skillas. Or skillas also not, because he's not getting in favor still. He's still not getting in favor, so skillas are not gonna be the unit of choice for him. And of course he's not gonna be getting the free one, as we are still on the vanilla mode. Okay, so what was actually the reason for... Yeah, right now he's finally producing. I was just waiting what was the reason for the ceasefire, if he's not gonna be making boats. He's gonna be underdog, he's gonna be producing plenty of hammer ships. Definitely makes quite good sense, but I don't really see it all that optimistically at this point. Because looking at all of this, with Joe being prepared for him, and the skills absolutely being out of the question here, maybe if he can produce enough and bronze them, that could be working, that could be validly working for more. So let's see if that's gonna be the response from him. But looking at this armada, not being optimistic even with that. Not being optimistic at all. Bronze, if you are attacking, yeah. That was a bit too late, he already received a bit of damage in that. But anyway, that is definitely something that needs to happen if he wanted to engage, which he shouldn't have, to be honest. That wasn't a good moment. He still could have waited for a few more boats for himself, and basically waited for the opponent to come to him. I mean, like, I know that Joe would be getting some more units as well. But looking at the numbers, that just wasn't much of a reason why to go for that fight. I can see right now the hammer ships in huge numbers for him. They're gonna be completely slaughtering even the bronze boats, which are looking really cool all around. Even though it's kinda a wonder how they could be actually floating with all the bronze on them. Should be probably falling all the way down to the seabed. Our second TC has been already finished by Joe, and he is gonna be getting quite good economy, as even the heroes are scouting around this third TC, maybe discovering that it could be being built, but yeah, apparently it isn't, as Joe is gonna be right now completely owning the waters. Yeah, well, it was a quite nice brave attempt by Mor to actually go for the water, but it was kinda doomed from the very start, as we could have seen, and we're gonna be looking what he's gonna be attempting to do next. It's gonna be a second TC, he does have plenty of resources, so maybe he could be even switch it to the third one as soon as possible. You can see that's a fairly safe one, the same as for his opponent at the very bottom. As Joe is having also quite a nice position TC, very safe gold for him. Whereas Joe's gold, well, this one that he has actually opted for, not entirely safe. It seems like that he's gonna be dropping a Migdol about here, I would be expecting. Trying to maybe block the TC at the top side in there. But otherwise he does have quite a solid gold mine on the left side. Right next to the TC, just needs to do short walling and it's gonna be completely fine. Luckily for Mor, this TC is not in water range, it's a bit further away than it would be actually needed for being in the range, obviously. And of course plenty of stables are coming forward. There's gonna be 4 stables, and for that he will need plenty of... don't even need the granary there, but anyway, because of the TC, would be luring it about here. But why not? If he's having enough resources, it's fine. But bowsaw and pickaxe, he definitely will be needed, chaff mine, and even quarry to be able to produce from 4 temples, or 4 temples to the riders, ergo stables, to produce enough units from there, and basically without any kind of problems. So let's see if it's gonna be able to do that and get those upgrades exactly in time. As from the water, Mor has been completely deleted about now. There's gonna be still the hippocampus getting hit into the head with a huge hammer. Well, that kinda has to hurt. As on the left side there is a bit of scouting still going on by Mor, as he does have a few militias from the docks, so they are used for a bit of scouting. That's actually quite clever. Quite clever indeed, as it's gonna be giving him opportunity to see what's going to happen in there. As we expected, Joe went for the Migdol on the right side of the water and right next to the gold mine, so he's gonna be attacking the TC quite soon. As Atalanta is gonna be coming forward as well to battle for her people quite a whole lot better, I'm hoping, than what Theseus and Hippolyta showed in covering in the tower. That was really kind of disgraceful for both of them. So Atalanta is gonna be having a lot of heroic in and whatever heroic jobs to actually make up for. So right now Mor is doing what he can to somehow at least keep his opponent off the gold, but yet again we see that there's plenty of gold mines to be basically chosen for by Mor, or rather by Joe, as he still does have the one completely safe and he just doesn't want to use it yet, because he kinda doesn't need to either, as those siege boats of course are gonna be destroying all the boats all across. The boats are gonna be destroying all the stables all across, and of course Prodromine, not a bad unit, but all things considered, they're gonna be fairly easily dying, because they don't have all that much huge armor against Pierce. You can see 10%, they're gonna be just falling like flies against the Migdol and the Chariot Archers, but against, of course, the Camels and against the War Elephants, they are not really all that crap. Okay, so are we already seeing some medium upgrade? Because that's desperately needed, but apparently not, because Mor is having problems with food, quite obviously, and expectedly, since he has just recently lost the water and he's not really transformed yet, and unfortunately he doesn't even have husbandry for a bit faster gathering, a bit more efficient gathering from the piggies, and faster in a way that it's gonna be more efficient, but not really faster, like faster, obviously, as we talked about that in the previous match today. Okay, so I kind of thinking that all of those hammer ships could be already deleted for Joe. He doesn't really need them. Those siege boats are gonna be quite strong enough. It's switching into barracks, into spearmen, obviously. As on the left side there is a bit of a raiding. Well, literally a bit of a raiding with the one militia guy coming forward into all of those. And yeah, you can just basically turn around and completely destroy him and take his head in there. Okay, let's switch to the right side where the most important battle is gonna be happening. And of course, the fate of the game may be just decided. And you can see right now Joe deleting all the boats that he doesn't need. Definitely could be deleting even more of the war barges. He doesn't need all that many at this point, especially if he's not gonna be microing them exactly where they need to be shooting, which is of course the foundations of the new buildings. As the Migdol seems to be kinda enough, and those two barracks. Let's switch into Joe. They are gonna be producing only spears. Yep, only spears are gonna be coming forward, of course, as he doesn't have really enough resources for a mythical age, but he doesn't need it at all. He's gonna be getting the 30C, even more population limit for him, as he's an ISIS, so he does have a bit of an advantage. But he seems to be doing a pretty good job here, and unfortunately Mor, well, it's not like he's really losing all that much here. He's just pushing into kinda unfortunate battlefield. You can see right next to Migdol, that's something that he doesn't really want to fight. So, yeah, well, maybe he could be doing a good job, actually waiting a bit behind. As right now, he's gonna be giving up. And I was going to say that he could be doing a bit better job, maybe switching the battlefield to the left side. Because this is not really going anywhere. He's taking fights in really bad places all around. You can see the Salt Amphora already on the water for Joe. So he could be getting pretty good water echo for himself, as basically those fights just make absolutely no sense. It just makes absolutely no sense. Why would you go under the Migdol into the Chariot Archers and into the army, where also the spearmen are literally being made into it? Just kind of not really efficient. I really think that he could be a bit more patient. And he could be having a longer game and maybe even make something work out of it. Though of course the game was already going against him because of the 30C from Joe, which might have been one of the reasons why he actually resigned, because he sees that he doesn't have much of a chance for the TC himself to go for it at the backside, and he probably also figured that if he's getting 30C, then he's also gonna be getting into a mythical age, which to be honest is not really true, as you could have seen a bit before. But yeah, well, the economy was obviously going to get a bit stronger for him, and this just wasn't going to get broken anytime soon, especially with the huge army of war barges being right nearby. And Morbi at 71 population limit, Joe at 120 out of 154. So he didn't even need to delete like half of those boats, which he definitely could, so that he would get some extra population limit. But yeah, well, that's how it went, and that means that Joe is gonna be winning the semifinals against Mor 3-0 and gonna be advancing into finals, where he is gonna be facing Shadowfax. So that's gonna be a really interesting match. Shadowfax as the vanilla expert, kinda turning Titans expert as well, to be honest, because like a few months ago when he was playing in the previous tournaments and some Titans games, he wasn't really that strong. He was solid, but not that strong, but that has definitely changed quite a bit, and he's really beating even Titans experts. Like, he has beaten Skadi, he has beaten Shelty, so who else does he need to beat? do we actually really consider it as a pretty solid Titans player? Well,
N wedge.
let's see about that. Let's see how the finals are gonna go, and there's also gonna be a bronze match that's gonna be played between Schulte and Moore. It should be a pretty fun matchup as well, of two Titans experts and the solid players, how they're gonna be faring on the vanilla, and of course on the Titans as well. Well, Moore is always gonna be missing his Atlantean, so maybe he's gonna be training a bit more some Isis or some Greeks or something else. So let's look into the post game, where of course Joe, the game went long enough, so he's gonna be having dominance over all the departments there. Not much of a question about that. In the end, you can see that's kind of funny that Joe didn't really win on the food all that much, even though he was having the water for quite a few minutes extra. He won basically by about 100. So yeah, just basically confirmation that Moore wasn't having that bad game even without the water. Well, quite of course, because Moore was forced, or rather forced himself kinda, into bad battles on the water. So that's the result of 58 into 29, and those fights under the Migdol also didn't help too much. 723, standard faster heroic for an Isis on vanilla. Exactly as we like to see it. And Moore, well, 819 is not bad either. But unfortunately he wasn't prepared for the skillas. That definitely would have helped him. Like, don't want to say helped him win the game, because that's definitely a very bold claim, looking how Joe spammed the units in there once he get into the heroic. Definitely would have helped a whole lot more than, yeah, well, just a few bolts that he was able to make in there. Anyway, for Joe, the biggest amount of units was for ramming Galley. And as for Moore, it was a Picon. Yeah, the civilians threw the roof for Joe because you got the second TC in there. Joe only later, and he wasn't even able to basically produce all that many villages apparently. Well, that's an interesting graph. That's a very interesting graph. That's right after the bronze. Yeah, the distraction, total distraction of Moore's army. And of course, Joe wasn't losing all that much, he was just destroying. Completely destroying. You can see that Moore was able to get up there in the numbers on the land and basically match Joe. And there was no pushing through really on the right side. He probably should have switched to the left side. That was wide open, and he would be able to also hurt his economy. Hurt Joe's economy. That was an opportunity there. But not taken, and that means that GG.